Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Channel 42's. This is In the Cafe. Today we've got a great guest with us. He's a curator over at the No Man's Sky Amino, and also one of 7 in the PBF server. Today we're visiting Neyko's base, and this is in Creative in the Unity 1 system. So here we are. I'm just going to circle around and have a quick little peek, aerial, and then we're going to land and meet up with Neyko. This is beautiful. Oh wow. Nice job. Alright, let's land. Perfect. And there's Neyko waiting for us. Greetings, Neyko. Welcome to the show.
Greetings.
How are you today?
I'm brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Wow, that's the new mech. Holy smokes. This is the first time I've seen it myself. Wow, that's really kind of cool. We're going to have to talk about that. We have to talk about the new stuff. And this is other new goodies we get as well. I'm not sure what this is. This square unit here. Is this something you've built? It is.
Yeah, this is my, I call him Neyko bot.
That's really cool. Okay, I've never seen that before. There you are walking around.
Yeah,
Holy
he's one of my kind of little Easter eggs I've started putting down on most of my bases.
Yeah, that's really kind of cool. There's a few players that have made like little robots and stuff. I believe Drizzleditch has made little robots too. And there's some really unique things that you can do with these. I like what you've done here with looks like a light table and other little things. Wow, that's really cool. Very creative. Nice job, dude. Well, let's take a look around. Wow, this is a pretty amazing base.
Yeah, it's rather large.
So you're sporting the Gek character today?
Yeah, no, I'm always Gek.
I love the long ears on that one.
Yeah, this Gek looks exactly the same as the Gek on my normal.
Yeah.
It's no different.
Yeah, I tend to keep the characters the same myself. I'm not big on changing them. It's kind of like a representation of who you are in game. So we've got a nice
even
little
my
trophy.
ship that's on the even my ship that's on the landing pad, it's the same ship I use in normal as well.
Cool. Yeah, we all have our favorite ships, don't we? So this is where it spawns. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it come with a geo bay too?
Yeah, it's underneath at the moment.
Okay.
I wanted to. So there's some more exocrafts up by the base, and I've kind of buried them a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I see what you did. Very
but
cool.
But this one's different. This one falls out the sky when it's summoned, and when it hits the ground, it takes terrain away.
Oh, well, that's kind of neat.
So I didn't like it taking terrain away on my base, so that's why he's now here.
Very cool. Okay, that's kind of neat. I'm going to have to look into that. All right, so what do we got? We got some stairs over here. Let's go take a look up here.
Yeah, so upstairs is there. If you look underneath the bridge, there's also like a walkway that comes out of a cave and goes into another cave. It's not really. I've not done much to it yet. I saw it when I came here, and I was like, I need to build something across that.
Very cool. All right.
There is a way down to it, but I've not kind of done much to it yet.
That's okay. Wow, I love how you've done this, sort of scaling up the side here.
Yeah, I did it on. So we've got.
Look at that view.
There's a planet not yet shown to the public by the PBF, and there's a build there that I done that's very. I did a similar thing, and I really wanted to try it again.
Are those birds flying through the base?
Yeah, unfortunately,
cool.
I found a spawning point, clearly.
That's cool, though. I kind of like it. It adds something to the base. Wow, dude. Nice job in the interior. Your decor is something else.
Oh, thanks.
Look at that. I like the garden you put in here. Is this downstairs or right here?
Yeah, this is like my sort of downstairs garden. It's got a couple of little robots in there working away.
Wow, dude, this is really
Bits and
nice.
pieces.
I like how you've made it so full. It's like a little sanctuary of living
Yeah, yeah. It got
flora.
to the point where it got really hard to fill because
I bet.
everything's just kind of sticking on top of each other. I actually had to delete one of the items because it was hovering and it took out about a quarter of it.
Oh dear.
So I had to do about a quarter of it again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see my.
Oh yeah, I see. Yep, it's all here.
Oh, good.
Wow,
Good.
this is
Just
really cool. I like how you done this. Little cafe style seating area. Perfect view for this.
great for when the weather is good.
It is gorgeous up here. Well done, my friend. Okay, well, I guess we got more upstairs. Let's go take a look.
Yeah, yeah. There's another section upstairs.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I
Yes,
didn't
we
want
got
to glitch
boardroom
too
style
much here.
table.
'Cause it was, yeah,
Nice
well, it was meant
job.
to be like a serving table, dinner table. So I built like a kitchen with a service hatch, which I kind of pinched from Veritas. I thought that's a good idea.
Well, it's too bad we can't sit in these chairs yet.
Oh
Almost.
yeah,
One day.
one
Maybe
day.
next update. I was hoping this update they may give us that. I like that. Yeah, this looks good. A little kitchen.
Yeah, a little kitchen area.
I wish we could hire NPCs just to roam our base, like not
I
necessarily
said that
specific
so many
jobs,
times.
but just just hire them to be there, and you have like a kitchen staff or something. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Oh, I like what you did with this. How did you do that?
What's
Oh,
that?
well, you've got these looks like placards on the wall here of the different decals.
Yeah.
That looks
Yeah,
really
these.
good. Are those
Yeah, I
tables that you put
no,
sideways?
they're. Um, I always call them canvases because that's what I use them for. What are they called? Let's have a quick look. It is a flat panel,
Oh, okay, the flat panels,
and
and then
then
you just
yeah, I
glitch
just
built it
pop
on
it
the
on the
wall.
wall. Yeah, no, it sticks to the wall. You don't have to glitch it.
Oh,
It just
whoa.
sticks to the wall,
I love that idea.
and then put the. Yeah, I got this idea from Veritas.
That's a great
I never
idea.
knew because when you put the decals on, they don't go onto the wall, so
Yeah, I
they actually
noticed.
just stick to it. So it looks really good, and
It
that's all
does.
I use them for really is canvases,
Very
I
cool.
suppose.
Yeah, no, that's a really nice touch. Oh, wow. Great base, dude. I love your pets.
Thank you.
The fish.
Yeah. Oh, actually, it's just disappeared for me. Oh, there he
Oh,
goes.
oh, you
Come
got.
back.
Oh, very cool. You got two
Yeah.
of them in
So
here.
yeah, but if you look this one here, if you look closely, it's got a Gek statue inside,
Yeah,
as well as the creature enclosure with the little
yeah.
blob bouncing around inside.
So you got both of them
Uh,
in there, and as well as the statue.
yeah. And
That's
then the one
cool.
over here's got, I think it's got
Looks
a
like a rocks.
statue and a few other bits and pieces are stuck in it.
Yeah, got some rocks and
Um,
stuff.
it's about the only thing I glitched in here because it's a rather large base and I
It's
didn't want
really
to
cool.
do too much glitching for it to pop in and out.
Nice job, dude. I see you got more pictures on the wall with the canvases. Wow, I like what you've done. That's really awesome. All right, well, let's sit down and let's have an interview.
Built this seating area over here specifically for the
Oh,
interview.
this
Plenty
is
of lighting.
perfect. I like this. All right, let's see here. We'll put you there, and I guess easiest if I sit here. Yeah, I'll sit right there. See if I can get this right spot.
Oh, now he wants to move.
That's
No, he
pretty
doesn't
good.
even want to sit down. He's very particular. He's a bit like Sheldon. He doesn't want the draft.
Perfect. Okay, make a little adjustment here before we get rolling. I'm just going to take my audio levels down. I should have done this before the show. I apologize, everybody, for the graphics on the menu screen. There we go. Perfect. Now I should be able to hear you loud and clear. Okay, welcome to the show, Neyko. This is a pretty impressive base. I'm blown away here. It looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
You've built this in the Unity 1 region on Creative Save. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. I'm going to get a real close-up of your character here. I like how you've designed him there. That looks really good. Nice color scheme. The ears make you look kind of regal. Nice. So now, do you play predominantly on Creative?
No. To be honest, I used to only play on Creative for testing. And that's all I ever used it for. And then I met Veritas on the Amino. We became good friends, and I've done nearly 200 hours on this file.
Oh wow, wow. You know, I'm
Yeah,
like you. I used to use Creative an awful lot for research and scientific reasons, testing things
yeah,
out, warping without having to spend a lot on warp cells. Um, and since a couple updates ago, they changed warp cells so that they're far more efficient. And I hadn't really played an awful lot of Creative since then. Um, but it's still fun to play and go around and just do whatever. You can build and not have to worry about, resources or anything
yeah.
like that, which
Uh,
makes things a lot easier in a lot of cases.
yeah, a lot of the PBF stuff we do is mostly in Creative as well. So, but I do actually prefer to build in normal because there's that extra little challenge of making sure you've got all the resources you need, and stuff like that. And I kind of enjoy the challenge. My normal base, one of my normal bases, I call it the Rusty Farm, and it's kind of dedicated to base building, and it's where I get all my materials that I need for like almost mostly used materials anyway, like ferrite
Cool.
dust and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, it's good to have those
Carbon.
bases and resource farms. We all have them in little places.
Yeah.
I know I've got some favorite farms that I like to visit. Sword's got some great ones, and I've got a few of my own that I like to hit up every now and then. Um, so now, how long have you played No Man's Sky?
Um, I think it's coming up to nearly a couple of years. I think.
Okay,
I'm not too
since
sure how
Atlas
long.
Rises, I guess.
Um, just after, I think.
Okay, so you've
It
had
was just
some.
after the Atlas Rises one, I think.
Yeah, you've had some decent time playing the game, and have seen enough changes throughout the game to know just how drastic HG can change the game and still make it super enjoyable and even better than it was the last time. It seems every update they put out just make it even better. The odd glitch here or there, but we seem to work through them. And building especially has vastly improved, which of course you built this amazing base, using a lot of the new techniques that are available in building. Tell us a little bit about the PBF. You're one of the Council of Seven, is that correct?
Yes, I'm one of the Council of Seven. So the Council of Seven is just it's seven original members from the PBF, and basically we'll make choices. Basically, because we have quite a lot of members.
Hmm.
It's we decided that we was going to create a council to make decisions instead of having to chase people to vote on stuff.
Right.
So this way, it's just an easier way, so we can like voting in new members and
Right.
stuff like that. And we chose seven so that there was never any chance of having a tie with votes and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then every time that we need to do something, we tend to rotate the chair so
Oh,
that it's not always the same person being the chair.
that's pretty cool. So yeah, no, it's not one leader and a bunch of mods. It's actually seven whole leaders running the show, and
Yeah.
each one taking a turn at being in that sort of leader position, but never really in a leader position. That's really kind of neat. I like how you guys do that. But you all take the responsibility as a leader, as one, seven of you, and that's actually really kind of handy because there's always ensures there's somebody available to help with newcomers, or anything really, whether it's a PBF or building and whatnot. The PBF server has become something of a legend in a very short amount of time. Um,
Yes.
there's a lot of hype with building, glitch building, and some of the new techniques, and now apparently we've improved our complexity limits where we can actually disable them. I have yet to see whether or not that's going to cause rendering issues for other players visiting bases that are higher than the old complexity limit. But I'm really curious to see what some of the creativity becomes of this, because we have seen so much amazing things from yourself, Veritas, Beeblebum, Nirvana, and so many others from the PBF server. It's like all the builders have congregated into this one place, and it's a massive, amazing build fest. For those who haven't checked out the PBF, I highly recommend checking it out, and some of the work that these guys do. It'll blow your mind. Just blow your mind. Yeah.
We're mostly on PS4 as well. We do have now have Ashfax, who's a PC player, and he does a lot of the Blender stuff, and just some of this he makes me jealous.
Ash is, yes, he's very well known. He uses the PC Blender mods, and
Yes.
say what you like about the blenders or things like that. The guy's amazing. The
Yeah.
structural architecture that he puts out in his builds is simply mind-boggling. The Blender mod is really cool. It's awesome. I wish that we would be able to have that option for the Blender mod, but unfortunately we don't, and it's not seen by others. So visiting his bases is difficult, but when he records it on YouTube, it just blows your mind. He is very, very talented. In fact, I actually went out in public and said that if I actually win the lottery, and I'll say it again, if I win the lottery, I'm hiring Ash Factor to build me a home. I want him to design my house, because that guy is a genius.
Yes.
Just gorgeous stuff that he does. All right, back to you. You've been playing the game for a couple of years now. What keeps you interested? Like, what keeps you coming back after a couple of years of playing?
I think it's the community, to be honest. I really enjoy the community, and I really enjoy playing with the people that I play with. But yeah, other than that, it's the building. I really enjoy being. I'm a very creative person anyway. In real life, I'm a graphic designer.
Are you?
And yeah, I like to be really creative. I wasn't lucky enough to be able to get the game when it first got launched, but I followed the hype from the minute it was mentioned and people started talking about it on podcasts. I was really looking forward to it. But then I had a decision to make. It was to buy a PS4 or go to university and become a graphic designer. So,
Good
so
choice.
obviously I took the graphic designer option. But
Yeah.
the minute I graduated, I went and got a PS4 and I got this.
Good choice going with education. That's it's
The
always the best decision to make.
But I must have played the game for a little while. I had quite a lot of issues with the storylines and things like that. So at first I kept coming back and forth from it because I wasn't having that much luck with it. But when Beyond dropped, it changed everything for me. I was able to get stuff, I was able to finish quest lines. Um, and it was my friend actually showed me some pictures of some bases, and he said, "Oh, this is this glitch building thing," and I was just blown away. And I just thought people could do that stuff. I even know that you can't do that normally, and it kind of started there, and I started building, and I didn't really do much interior either. A lot of it used to just be kind of shells, and then I started playing with Veritas, and I saw one of his bases, and it made me think, why am I not doing this with interior? Why am I just making shells and then just leaving them? And to be honest, it's that for me now is the best part of the building. I actually enjoy filling the building more than I do actually building it sometimes.
It shows an awful lot of
But yeah,
creativity.
yeah,
Myself, I'm guilty of that quite a bit. I build a nice outside, and then inside is just empty. Sometimes it's time related. You just don't have time, or you're moving on, and other times you're just lazy or whatever. But it's something that it adds so much more to the base is the interior design when you coloring, adding color, paint, and objects. it makes it so much more creative and personal, because you get to see each person's sort of personal tastes in interior design, which is really kind of cool. And now we can do so much more with the glitch building that we can make
Yeah, I mean,
things out of things, little kitchens, and it's exciting times, very exciting times. Let's talk about you personally for a minute here. How old are you, sir?
I'm 33.
33, okay. And you
Yeah.
recently just mentioned that you got back graduating from graphics university?
Yeah.
Awesome. Which one did you attend?
I attended a university called Canterbury Christchurch.
Canterbury Christchurch. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations. Does that mean that you live near or around the Canterbury area?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I live quite close to the Canterbury centre, but I actually did my degree actually in my hometown.
Oh, nice.
They had a small complex here, which is now closed down. We was the last kind of group to be there.
Well, you got in
But that
just.
was really handy. It was just around the corner. I didn't even bother driving. I used to just walk every day. It was lovely.
How
Cutting across the fields
convenient.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was perfect. It couldn't have got any better. At the time as well, my little girl was just born. So having a car was a bit of a luxury, one thing
Hmm.
we didn't have. So, and I love walking. So for me, it was perfect. Nice hour. Well, I say an hour. That was the long route. I used to take the long route. Scenery was better.
Sometimes you need a little private time, and walking is a good way to get that. So, congratulations on graduating from Graphics University.
Yeah,
Um,
it took me about 10 years to get where I am now.
yeah, well, good
Yeah,
things take time.
it's always something I wanted to do, and I never left school with good grades. But it took, it kind of took about 6 or 7 years of doing little bits and pieces for people, little jobs here and there, little freebies. And then one day, me and my brother went up to the open day, and we had a little portfolio because we had a business that we were running a few years before. And the professor that was running the course, had a quick look through. I mean, he barely looked at it. He was more interested about what we were telling him, and he offered us 2 slots. That I think the course started about 2 months after that, and he offered us the last 2 slots.
Lucky.
Um, yeah, and both ended up we both ended up graduating with really high grades. So we really did well for
Yeah,
ourselves, and it's still something I do now.
excellent. So,
Um, Currently doing it self-employed at the moment.
yeah, yeah, that was my next question is where do you work? But sometimes
So,
it takes a while to break into the industry and to get your name out there.
well, yeah, before all of the crisis, I was working for a t-shirt printing company.
Uh-huh.
We printed all sorts of garments, all sorts of different processes, um, and I learned so much about clothing and brands and how other brands and stuff do what they do, and it inspired me to kind of want to do my own sort of brand. And now I recently launched about 3 weeks ago. I launched my No Man's Sky merchandise website.
Really? I had no idea. So you
Yeah,
have a No Man's Sky
yeah,
merchandise website. Um,
yeah.
oh wow. Okay, that takes a lot of time. Making sure you're not, going into copyright infringement and so on and so forth.
Yeah, well,
So,
I actually was worried about that. I emailed Hello Games 4 times.
uh-huh.
I didn't get any replies. And then I was told that apparently Hello Games are really okay with that sort of thing. You know,
Good. Okay.
then they're not. Then they don't mind it. So I had a good look around at other stuff, and I thought, wow, okay, a lot of this Atlas stuff, but all my stuff is made a bit differently. Some of it's a bit law related
Hmm.
and stuff. I've done some there's a range of stuff I've done. I kind of call them specializations, and I've got like a base building T-shirt, and like what is it, Sentinel ones and stuff, as well as some other really cool graphic stuff. They're not on the Amino because obviously the rules of advertising. I did start up so the No Man's Sky Amino had a merch page that got shut down. So I kind of said that, look, I'm looking at doing mine soon. I don't mind making it part of it. And MJW from No Man's Sky Amino was happy for me to do that. And when he advertised it on the Amino, he also put my website up there as well.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Really nice of him. Yeah.
Advertising
really
on your
nice
YouTube videos is another good way of getting the word out as well.
Yeah. I'm still working on. My brother's a videographer, and unfortunately, because of what's going on at the moment, I've not been able to get samples made so that I can make a video with them.
Yeah.
But that is something in the works.
Yeah, that should be a fairly simple thing on YouTube editing, is to be able to throw a graphic up there. I haven't dabbled an awful lot in video editing myself. Most of you have noticed the interview's all very low tech, straight cut, one shot deal. I like simplicity myself, and I don't have the tools necessary to actually really get into it. So we go with a simple method, and it works well for the method that I'm using. But anything more, I would need to upgrade and do some computer upgrades and get some programs for proper editing software and so on and so forth. So now, have you lived in the UK all of your life, or have you moved there?
No. I was born in the UK. I haven't always stayed in the UK. I lived in Germany for 2 years. As well as everywhere else in the UK. I've lived pretty much a lot of places in the south.
Okay, so you
the
moved
job
around
I
a
used
little.
to do kind of moved me around a lot as well. I used to be a fire sprinkler fitter,
Uh-huh.
and that moves me around quite often, especially around the south. Yeah, but yeah, other countries. I've only lived in Germany, I suppose.
Germany's
Loved it
nice.
there.
Yeah, it's
Lovely
very
country.
nice. Yeah, it is a lovely country. They've got gorgeous countryside. What what you mentioned you like base building, and you've been playing for a long time now. Before the base building and really inspired you, what did you used to do? Like, what was your favorite sort of thing?
Mostly just kind of exploring, really.
Yeah.
Exploring the game. Like I said, I had a lot of issues with the missions for a long time. So I spent a lot of time doing other things, learning how to install modules and, upgrade ships and I spent a lot of time on my character, going around the different stations and getting all the slots, and so I spent so much time just exploring for a very long time.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things, is to explore and warp, find new worlds.
But I did find at first it was like I said, I kept kind of coming back and forth from the game. I enjoyed playing it, but I didn't ever find myself spending much time on it. It wasn't until I started playing with more and more people that I ended up doing what they were doing. For instance, I made friends with Vonorama. Funny story, that one. I went over to visit Beeblebum's Star Trek ship, and it just so happened Vonorama was there at the same time, coming over to have a look as well. And then, and then he invited me over to his Galactic Cartel hub planet, which they call the Traveler's Oasis. Lovely planets. So they look for blissful planets, and then they call them Traveler's Oasis. So he invited me over there, and every now and then they do like a meet up with everyone, and we play games and stuff, and they do a lot of ship hunting as well. And that was one thing I'd never really bothered getting into, was ship hunting, and then that is something I ended up really enjoying a lot of the
It's a
time.
whole other world. One of my favorite parts as well.
Yeah, it is. And then doing it with Vonorama was quite good. He does it quite often, and learning loads of little tricks from him, things I never even knew. And he introduced me to the Coordinate Exchange on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Very, very good
that was
website.
just, yeah. I mean, the ship I've got now was actually we had gone over to get a ship for somebody else. So what sometimes we'll do is there'll be three of us sometimes going over,
Yeah.
keeping an eye out for one of these ships. And that ship flew in, and I just saw it, and I was like, oh my god, that's the ship. That's the one. It's just like that's the one. Right, I don't care. Get rid of that. I literally just bought a ship as well, and I was like, I don't like it no more. I want that one. And if it wasn't kind of learning and doing the ship hunting, I mean, I didn't even. It's not like I came across it on Reddit or anything either. It just came in. I was just like, oh my god, look at that! It's blue and it's orange. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's
There's a lot that can
small.
be learned from ship hunting, actually, and how the game
Yes.
works in its procedural generation and RNG spawning rates. It actually really interesting how you can learn that and then apply that to other parts of the game and learn how to get other stuff. So right on, man. I'm glad that you like ship hunting as well. It's an art form that has grown over the years and has changed and morphed into something really amazing. There's so many ways of acquiring a ship now, and a good one, like an S class. Are you an S class hunter yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Nothing
Yeah,
less,
I would
right?
always. Yeah, yeah, nothing less. Yeah.
I
The only
know.
thing I don't have is an S-Class freighter. That is one thing I have never been lucky enough to find.
Those ones are.
That's a
That's a
tough one.
lightning in a bottle. It is. Sometimes it just happens out of the blue very quickly, and other times you could play for years and still never see an S-class freighter. My OG save, my original, that took a long time to get a good S-class freighter. I ended up reloading for that one. I kind of regretted it, to be honest with you. Um, I found with other saves when I got the S-class freighter, it's just not worth it. All those reloads. Might as well enjoy the game. The S-Class freighter, unless you're using it for warp, really doesn't do much more other than hold
Yeah,
a bit
and
more.
I very rarely use it for warp. The one I've got now, I've just kept, and I've actually decided to start actually turning it into something nice.
Yeah, like bases
On
and
my
stuff
normal
on
one.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I held out for a long time was until I got that S class, and I kind of got to that stage where I thought,
I don't care. I want to
it's
build now.
just daunting even thinking about it. So
It
in the
is.
end, I just thought, right, I'm just gonna start building something because I'm not gonna hold out anymore for it, you know.
Yeah, I will
I don't want to
say
hold out for it.
space battles. I have noticed, and I don't necessarily have any data proof towards it yet, as I'm still compiling it. But I have noticed when you play in multiplayer, it seems the odds of S-class freighters spawning seem to happen a little bit more frequently in multiplayer mode. You're playing with a friend, you warp out, immediately you always get a space battle. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
And it's because of the fact that it's that immediate switchover. Every time that you play multiplayer, you get a space battle in that first warp. It seems to increase the odds on you getting one. And it's happened a few times now where I'll be playing with somebody and I'll just warp out and, oh, lucky me, another S class. Well, how did this, and I've already got one. But it's happened more than one occasion now. I definitely do those space battles in multiplayer. You never know. It could pay off.
Definitely, I do enjoy hunting pirates as well. That is another thing,
It is.
It's, I mean, yeah, I do enjoy it. And to be honest, sometimes that's not much of a challenge. But going to annoy the space drones is fun too,
Yo,
because
shooting the space
the good thing.
station? Yeah.
Or take just to get some drones on you, just to get some sentinels on you. They're fun. I enjoy taking those out because they don't end.
No, it just
Unless
they
you leave the
constantly keep
system, they
coming.
just constantly coming, and it's just brilliant. With pirates, it's sometimes you think, yes, someone's chasing me. Oh, there's one ship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there's a bounty. Oh, he's harmless.
You
Oh.
used to be able to end the fight by destroying the Sentinel battle cruiser or battleship, but that's gone away a long time ago. Now they just keep on
Yeah,
coming, keep on
you can
coming
take out the guns, but once you've done that, it stays there. So you have to kind of warp off a little, pulse off a little bit,
until you can warp.
and then yeah. Or no, I don't even warp. I just pulse, say, pulse towards a planet, and then I'll stop, and then all of a sudden, the Sentinels are going to turn up again, and the ship turns up again, and we start again.
And there they
That's what I
go,
like about
another
it.
wave.
You just
Yeah,
keep battling, keep battling. Just another thing I like doing.
yeah, I can go on
I
for
think yeah,
quite some
probably
time.
that ship hunting and building is probably easily three top things to do in
Yeah,
the game.
right on, dude. Um, so now this base is built in Unity 1, and there's been a lot of talk about the Unity 1 region and bringing everybody together from all different communities and various everywhere. People from all types, nomads, communities, groups. Um, what made you decide to come to Unity 1 and build here?
Well, I saw everyone was coming over, so I thought, oh, I best get over and have a look.
Well,
But
we're
then
happy to have you.
Veritas asked me and said, oh, can we use your little technique to get over to Unity 1 in Creative? So that's why I came to done the Creative one.
Nice.
Uh, I'm not over there yet in normal.
Well, you can hop on at any time you're ready. Just hit us up, or look on the No Man's Sky communities. Unity One Hub community is the one you're looking for, and you can easily just join on somebody's game. If you find one of the leaders, join on us. We're always in the Unity One region, and you can just pick out any place you like. There's
Nice.
always that option. We've left our games on so that that can happen. There's people from all over the world who, that they have time at whenever they can, and it's not always conducive to other people and so on. So leaving the game on is just easy, and people just jump on whenever they like and let them do what they like. It's very convenient, and I really enjoy having that option by joining through the community. You don't even have to be somebody's friend. You can just join. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what? So now, have you have any other plans for builds in Unity?
No, not at the moment. I meant to, I've got so many little projects on at the moment that I've kind of started and not finished, and I'm really trying to get around to finishing them. I started something, so Captain Steve has created his own sort of hub system, and people can come along and build stuff, and when they finished, he'll go and have a look around it and tour it.
Oh,
And
right
he kind
on.
of tends to stay in that system, so every time he loads up, he's there and he gets to see bases.
Hmm.
I've currently got something I'm building there at the moment, but I know I'm quite close to my overall base limit.
Ah,
And what I plan to have built, well, I plan to finish, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it now. I might do something a bit different. Um, I'm probably not even about halfway through it, and I'm building it out of cubes and wedges, and I've already gone through quite a lot, and I've got a feeling I'm not going to be able to complete it
it's a bit of a
the
shame.
limit situation. So I'm looking at taking that one down and doing something a little bit different. But I do have Captain Steve did like an R2D2 little prefab thing he did on one of the planets. So I put a base computer down. I think it's about I think it's about 400 units away from his R2D2, and I've done a DO droid,
Yeah.
which is like this green droid with a wheel it kind of balances on. And I started building that mainly because I thought I'm going to do a little Star Wars droid, and I want to put it so that it can still be seen from a distance as well.
Right.
It's very simple. I've probably only used no more than 15 to 20 pieces.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it too complex and too big because obviously it's obviously where I built so close to his one, so I didn't want to obviously cause any issues there because that can be the problem sometimes with rendering. So if you can still see someone's base in the distance, um, it's the system's trying to render that in as well as where you are. Um, it's always kind of good if you're going to. So what we'll do is we'll have sometimes a good sort of 600 units between each other. Sometimes when we're building on these, when we're doing like the PBF collaborations where we're all doing a build each, we always make sure that we've got a good bit of distance so that no one else's base is trying to render in, in the background and stuff.
Nice. For the essence of time, I just want to, I'm going to move on to our next question here. I could talk for hours about some of this rendering stuff. It's actually really intriguing, and how you can manipulate things and make things work so that the rendering works for you, and some of the precautions you make. I want to talk about this recent show that you've been doing. It's called Through the Portal, and it's very popular. You're running it out of the No Man's Sky Amino, and it's a very similar style kind of broadcast as what we're doing here today. Is where you've got bases that you've visited and toured and recorded, and then you broadcast it in a screening room in the Amino. Tell us a little bit more about that, and what made you decide to do that.
Well, I kind of always wanted to bring something new to the Amino, and I never really knew how I would kind of pull it off and what I would do, and it wasn't until the Amino we lost the standalone Amino app,
right? So
I had to install the normal Amino app, and that's when I discovered the CAF and the Amino hub, and then obviously I managed to catch a couple of your shows, and I just thought, well, that's how I need to do it. So I spent some time thinking of what I was going to do, and then I did a base tour for some. I went around and looked at a base. I think it was Helios 220. I think it is.
Yes.
And that's where it kind of started, and then I kind of felt like I really want to do this. But at the same time, Boyd Gaming does a lot of base tours.
Yes, he does.
And I know a lot of people do contact him to do them. And then, so recently he took a break from No Man's Sky for a while. He's now back. And so what we're doing is, and obviously the show I'm doing is mainly, so I'm not looking for bases outside the Amino. It's bases that have been posted within the No Man's Sky Amino.
Right. It's similar to how I interview featured members of the cafe. You're featuring No Man's Sky Amino bases, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now he's kind of back doing the tours again. He's going to be doing all the other tours, which kind of it kind of helps him now a bit more. So I said I will deal with the bases within the Amino. That way, even and what it was is I kind of wanted to give that opportunity for people to see their to see other people's bases. They're not. I'm not looking for super amazing glitch builds and something. I'm not looking for sort of PBF status sort of bases. I kind of want to give that opportunity for people to have their base featured, and hopefully give them a bit more inspiration and more confidence to do something else. And that's what I kind of wanted to kind of bring to the Amino, was an opportunity for others, because I know there is sometimes a lot of people don't like to post builds. I don't know if that's because we've got me on there and Veritas and Beeble Bums on there, and and we all do these amazing bases. So it was kind of so obviously the way I started it off was I offered anyone that had a base to submit it, and then I put a poll up for the first two episodes, and it was just kind of a way to kind of choose what ones to do first, and it was really good. And it people's that get their base have got their bases out there, and don't tend to make videos of them, and it's kind of that opportunity to have a video done, basically.
It is. Everybody likes a little spotlight every once in a while. I love shining the spotlight myself. I'm the guy that likes shining it on others. So I know that feeling. It's nice to be able to do that to you, who also likes doing that to other people. So it's kind of a nice little kudos to each other there.
I really like touring other people's bases, no matter what they are. I really like touring other people's bases and seeing what they're up to. And obviously through the videos that I do, I'll also kind of chuck in some tips. I can't, sometimes there's ones I've looked at and I've kind of said about them. For all I know, they've done it intentionally, but I've kind of said, oh, if you are having trouble, this is a good way to do it. And letting, showing people. There was one of the bases I went to, and it was huge. It must have spanned nearly the whole 1,000 units across. It had lots of glass and pipes and wires, and it was very jumpy and glitchy. And there's sort of things you kind of really want to avoid. Sometimes you don't want to go too fast. Sometimes.
Yeah, I noticed glass really has a tough time rendering. If you limit the glass a little bit, you'd be all right. Or if you've got a smaller structure, you can get away with having a fair amount of glass. But it does seem to have problems. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not always about this. I have one of my bases on the Traveller's Oasis I made was a racetrack. And one thing I've learned is, so if I'd connected everything up on that racetrack, it would have some serious issues with rendering and all sorts. But what I done is I made sections to it. So actually the whole thing's not connected, but does span, I think it's 600 units from corner to corner.
Which is pretty substantial.
Yeah, but everything loads in nicely. There's no issues with it. Loads of people have been there and had a little go on the track. It's only goes around in a big circle, but it was good fun.
But it renders, yeah.
And it renders perfectly, yeah. And I know there is a certain corner after a few updates. I think it was after Synthesis. There's a problem with one of the corners when you go around it a bit too fast. You fall off the track and go underneath it, but
which isn't bad, all things considering. Yeah, because I know that the tracks were a little bit messed up after the update, so it'd be good to see those sort of back in working order again and being able to make tracks and races. Let's go back to your show for just a quick minute here. I just want to quickly get a little quick plug in here for you. When do you usually do your show, and what times does it usually air?
So I try to do it on a Saturday, around 11 o'clock UK time.
Okay, and that's
which I kind of got a little
4
bit
Pacific, I think it is. 5 Pacific. Yeah. Yes, I think it's 5 Pacific.
So I kind of tried to do the rough times that you did because I felt that was kind of a good time when a lot of people are actually available to watch it. So I felt that was a good idea, and I thought to do it on a Saturday would be better because you do yours on a Sunday. That way, there's no sort of conflict, between
Oh, there's never conflict.
What show do I want to watch?
Honestly, mine changes based on what the wife tells me I need to do on any given weekend. But no, you're fine. You're not stepping on anyone's toes. The Saturday's a great day, and believe it or not, Saturday is a tough one because so many people and families have things that they do, and if you've given them a time and a place to watch something or to listen to something, you'll get people coming in. It seems dead, but that's only because there's nothing for others to do. If you've given them something to do, they'll be there. And your show is a great entertainment to have, and a lot of people are just listening when they're driving around or whatever. Unfortunately, I missed last weekend due to other things, but I look forward to seeing many others and enjoying a lot of the bases that I don't normally get to see, which is really kind of cool.
And they are, and some of them are like that. This week I've got some really good ones. I'm gonna. Oh, mind you, I suppose I could, because no one's going to hear this till the Sunday.
That's right. This won't be until the weekend.
Okay, so I could, yeah. So Saturday, I will be touring Vonorama's base again, but this is a different one.
Okay.
So he kind of held out on me. He's just built this awesome space whale.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, it looks brilliant. So I want to do that. That's going to be my first visit. Second visit is going to be A builder that really helped me learn a lot of the glitch building, especially. So he introduced me to adjacency glitching and taught me how to build things upside down and sideways. And he's kind of a builder that doesn't really get the credit he deserves, I feel. So I think he's only on the No Man's Sky Mino, but he goes under Apictor. And
Yes, I'm
he's
familiar with
been
that
base
name.
building just as long as Boyd has, I think.
Right.
They, kind of right at the beginning of the base updates, and he makes some brilliant stuff. So I really want to get on. I really want to get one of his done at some point. We're still debating at the moment, choosing what one he wants me to do. But because he was kind of like, oh, there's this one, but it's not that great, and I'm like, I think all your bases are great. And the last video will be the Stark Mansion by Boyd.
Yeah.
Because it got retweeted
We
by
get to
Sean Murray
see
as
one of
well.
Boyd's. Yeah.
And so I really want to do that. That was a collaboration between him and a player called Irix. I'm not sure if he's on the Amino.
He
Um,
is. He is on the Amino. I don't see him an awful lot, but I have seen him on the Amino.
yeah,
He's. I think he's in one of the various other galaxies out there. He does a lot of ship research and various other things. He's a pretty cool guy. I've only met him a couple of times, but I'd like to meet him a little bit more.
yeah. I first came across him. I joined. I got invited to a PlayStation chat group. It was all base builders. And I first started seeing some of his stuff in there. But the only problem is with these chats is they're great, but if you're not friends with that person, you don't get to see what they're posting.
Yeah.
Which I ended up leaving it because of that. Because I just thought, you see people going, "Oh wow, that's amazing," and you think there's nothing there but text.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm not friends with them, or they've not accepted my friend's request or something. So in the end, I kind of left those.
Yeah.
Found the community ones a bit better.
Oh yeah, the Amino and Discord are the way to go to be able to share everything that you
Yes.
have. Amino is
Yes.
my preferred way to go. I love the moving everything, videos, colors, photos. Everything is so colorful and pretty and moving. Sometimes it might be a little hard on the eyes, but I love the fact that it's always moving and constantly capturing your eye and keeping you entertained with something that's on screen. Discord is great, but it's not as exciting, I guess, to the brain so much. There's not as much moving. It's just text and photos,
Yeah.
and you can organize it very well. Discord is great for organizing things
Oh
within its
yeah.
chat rooms. But personally, I'm an Amino fan. I love Amino and its capabilities, and I love the screening room capabilities as well. That's something that's I really enjoyed, and you have too, apparently.
Yeah, I love the Amino. To be honest, when I first came across the Amino, it was like digging up gold. I'd been playing this game for a while and not really kind of enjoying it. I had one friend that played it, but didn't play it too often. And I think that's why I kind of bounced back and forth. But when I discovered the Amino, it changed everything. I met so many people on there probably within about a couple of weeks of being active on there. I met so many good people and so many good friends. And it's got me to where I am now. And like I say, it's the community that makes me kind of keep coming back.
That's exactly what it is for me. It's all about the community. The game, it kept me busy for a long time, but I think I probably wouldn't have played the game as long if it wasn't for the community, and having events and things to do with these great people in the community. They're all my friends. You're a new friend of mine. Like it's fantastic. Everybody I meet becomes a new friend. Rarely do we see somebody that's just not good. Um, Everybody that plays this game, we all seem to come from the same mindset, and we all love doing the same sort of things. And this game has provided something for us to congregate together, and we've built our own communities to be able to communicate and have fun and keep entertained. It's really remarkable, and I really hope that HG is proud of what the community has done to keep the game alive.
Yeah, I mean, even HG in themselves got to be one of the best gaming companies going. I mean, I know people like to complain about the updates and stuff, but the way I look at it, if it was say Rockstar, you'd be paying $15 for that update.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be paying
Yeah,
$15 for that living ship update. You would have had to pay for this new one today, and I just think they've given us this for free. They
they've
don't want
given so
anything,
much.
but
Yes,
the community has given so much back. And in my eyes, it's probably one of the best gaming communities out there.
it really is.
Everyone's so friendly. Everyone wants to get involved. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant community.
Yeah, it really is. I can't say enough about it. I live through the community. It's a second life for me. The game, sometimes I'm more into the community than I am into the game, and sometimes I have to find times to balance that. Because you can only be involved in the community for so long without the game. You've got to play it to get the content and
Yeah,
to be part of it. So it's that balance you're always playing with. But I find I'm always into the community, and I spend so much time looking at other people's things and following what's going on and try and stay involved in events. It's been a real pleasure, and I hope the ride doesn't stop. HG has said that they've got much, much more to come, and it says they're not slowing down on the recent update. What they messaged to us, I think it was at the very, very bottom of the updates, what they were talking about. So HG has no intention of slowing down, and neither do we. And I hope we have many, many more years of cafe and everything that makes this community great. From No Man's Sky Amino to Amino Hub to PBF and all the other Discord and Amino servers out there. You guys are all the greatest. In the background, you probably heard my timer going off. So we're very close to running short on time. With that, I want to ask you one more quick question, Neyko. Do you have the life, or I already screwed it all up. So much for the punchline. Do you have the answers to life, the universe, and everything else?
there's only one thing: nip, nip.
Nip. Oh, yeah.
Nip solves all problems.
It sure does. It sure does. You're not the first person to come up with Nip,
Sure.
and it's one of my favorites because I love how the game threw that in there as a little, tongue-in-cheek joke. It's fantastic. It shows the sense of humor that HG has, and that the community just sort of rallies around it and has fun with it. Excellent answer. Excellent answer. Thank you so much for being on the show today. It's been a real pleasure, and it's hard to cut it short, and an hour just never seems to be enough. If you do have time on Sunday afternoon, I haven't posted what time it'll be yet, but when I do, I'll make sure that I give you fair warning. If you have time to join us during the live broadcast in the screening room in the cafe on Channel 42, by all means, stop by and we can chat some more and get to know the community live. So we'd love to have you there if you have time.
Yeah, definitely. I'll try and make time. I'm pretty flexible.
Right on, Neyko. Thank you so much for your contribution to Unity One, your time for the interview today and getting to know you, and just everything. You're just one of those great community members that it's great to get to know.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Take care, travelers.